In a real war, a single Russian fighter jet could launch a missile capable of destroying an American AWACS aircraft from more than 200 miles away without ever entering enemy airspace. That single shot could blind an entire air operation in seconds. What makes this scenario unsettling isn't stealth technology or futuristic invisibility. It's something far more traditional: raw power, extreme maneuverability, and brute force missile reach. This aircraft is the Su-35. It does not hide from radar. It does not rely on stealth shaping. And yet, Western military planners still take it seriously. So here's the first question we need to ask. How can a non-stealth fighter still pose a threat in an era dominated by fifth-generation aircraft? Before we break this down, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth aviation documentaries that separate myth from reality. Now let's examine the Su-35 without hype, without propaganda, and strictly through facts. The Su-35 did not begin as a revolutionary design. Its lineage traces back to the Su-27 flanker, developed during the Cold War as a direct counter to the American F-15 Eagle. The Soviet design philosophy emphasized long range, heavy payloads, and extreme agility rather than digital sophistication. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia faced a strategic dilemma. Developing a brand new stealth fighter required time, money, and industrial stability, all of which were limited. Instead, Russian engineers chose to push an existing platform to its absolute limits. The result was the Su-35, officially labeled a 4++ generation fighter, not stealth, but heavily modernized. It integrates digital flight controls, updated avionics, advanced sensors, and improved survivability, while deliberately avoiding the compromises required for stealth shaping. This leads to an important question. Was the Su-35 designed as a temporary solution or as a deliberate rejection of stealth-centric warfare? Western air doctrine, particularly in the United States, revolves around stealth, sensor fusion, and first-shot advantage. Aircraft like the F-35 are built to fight as part of a vast digital ecosystem, destroying threats before they are even detected. Russia approaches air combat differently. Russian doctrine emphasizes speed, altitude, maneuverability, electronic warfare, and missile reach. Instead of avoiding detection entirely, Russian fighters are designed to survive detection, degrade enemy sensors, and dominate contested airspace through kinetic performance. The Su-35 embodies this philosophy completely, but this raises another critical question. In modern air warfare, does brute force still matter, or has stealth permanently changed the rules? Visually, the Su-35 resembles earlier flanker variants, but structurally it is far more refined. The airframe has been reinforced for sustained high-G maneuvers, while composite materials reduce weight and improve durability. Although the Su-35 is not stealthy, Russian engineers applied radar signature reduction techniques, including radar-absorbent coatings and refined panel alignment. These measures reduce detectability compared to older flankers, but they do not make the aircraft invisible. This was a conscious trade-off. The Su-35 sacrifices stealth for performance, endurance, and payload capacity. Which brings up a fundamental issue. Is reducing detectability enough? Or is full stealth the only viable path forward? The Su-35's defining feature is its maneuverability. Powered by two AL-41F-1S engines, each producing over 31,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner, the aircraft demonstrates exceptional acceleration and climb performance. What truly separates it from most fighters is three-dimensional thrust vectoring, allowing the engines to redirect thrust independently of airflow. This enables post-stall maneuvers that appear to defy physics. Critics often dismiss these maneuvers as airshow theatrics. Supporters counter with a simple reality. In close-range combat, the aircraft that can point its nose first often fires first. So the real question becomes, in an age of beyond visual range missiles, does close-range maneuverability still decide battles, or is it a relic of the past? At the heart of the Su-35's sensor suite is the Irbis-E PASA radar, capable of detecting large aerial targets at ranges exceeding 350 kilometers. While it lacks the low probability of intercept advantages of Western ESA radars, it compensates with raw output power. The radar can track dozens of targets simultaneously and engage multiple threats at once. Against stealth aircraft, detection ranges are reduced, but not eliminated, especially when combined with passive sensors. The Su-35 is also equipped with an infrared search and track system, allowing it to detect targets without emitting radar signals. This leads to another overlooked question. If a fighter can detect you passively, does stealth alone still guarantee invisibility? The Su-35 is often described as a flying missile platform. With a payload exceeding 8 tons, it can carry a wide range of air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons. The most controversial is the R-37M, a long-range missile capable of engaging targets beyond 300 kilometers. This missile is designed not for dogfights, but for eliminating high-value assets such as AWACS aircraft, tankers, and electronic warfare platforms. By targeting these support aircraft, the Su-35 threatens an entire air campaign rather than individual fighters. This raises a strategic concern. If your support aircraft are vulnerable, how effective is your stealth fighter force really? The Su-35 has seen operational use in Syria and Ukraine. In Syria, it primarily conducted air patrols and deterrence missions, showcasing long-range tracking and coordination. In Ukraine, Su-35s have operated in heavily contested airspace, often launching missiles from standoff distances to reduce exposure to air defenses. These conflicts have demonstrated both the aircraft's strengths and its limitations. Modern surface-to-air missile systems remain a serious threat, reminding us that no fighter dominates the battlefield alone. So the question becomes, is the Su-35 limited by its design or by the environment it fights in? Against aircraft like the F-15EX or Eurofighter Typhoon, the Su-35 competes strongly in maneuverability and missile load. However, Western fighters benefit from superior sensor fusion, networking, and logistics. When compared to the F-35, the contrast becomes philosophical rather than technical. The F-35 aims to win by avoiding detection. The Su-35 aims to win by overwhelming the fight once detection occurs. Which strategy is superior depends entirely on the scenario, and that leads to the defining question of modern air warfare. Is it better to never be seen or to remain lethal even after being detected? The Su-35's strengths are clear: extreme agility, long range, heavy missile payloads, and lower cost compared to fifth-generation fighters. Its weaknesses are equally evident: lack of true stealth, limited sensor fusion, and vulnerability in advanced electronic warfare environments. These trade-offs explain why some nations consider it a powerful solution, while others reject it entirely. The Su-35 is neither obsolete nor revolutionary. It represents the absolute peak of non-stealth fighter design, refined to its technological limits. Against weaker opponents, it is devastating. Against pair adversaries, its success depends on tactics, coordination, and timing. So we end with one final question: is the Su-35 a relic of the past, or a warning that not all future wars will be fought invisibly? If you found this analysis valuable, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth aviation documentaries. Leave your opinion in the comments. Maneuverability or stealth? Which matters more in modern combat? The air war is evolving fast, and we'll be here to break it down.